All right, guys, sorry about that. We're ready. We're good.
Ready to go. All right, call to order this Planning and Zoning Commission meeting Monday, June 29th at 4:02 PM. All right, public hearing. The Planning and Zoning Commission will conduct a public hearing on the following. Please limit any comments to 3 minutes. Plan 26-18, minor replat of lots 11R, 12R, Block 2, Ed Mercer Survey, number 11, City of Port Aransas, Nueces County, Texas. Being a proposed replat of lots 11 and 12 in the north 15 feet of lot 13, Block 2, Ed Mercer Survey, number 2, City of Port Aransas, Nueces County, Texas, according to plat recorded in Volume 2, page 47, map records of Nueces County, Texas. Do we have any public comments?
Not at this time.
All right. Citizen comments and reports. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter. Please limit comments to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Nope.
Moving on.
Nice and easy.
All right. Items for consideration. 4.1, approval of previous Planning and Zoning Commission minutes on Thursday, May 28th, 2026.
Minutes were in the packet.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All right. We have a motion approved in a second.
That was motion by Richard. It was a second.
Felicia.
Felicia.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, Garrett Kipke,
Yes.
Bill Straber,
Yes.
Richard K,
Yes.
Felicia Foster,
Yes.
Stephen Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4.2, discuss and take action on minor replat plan 2618 for lots 11R and 12R, Block 2, Ed Mercer Survey, number 11. Applicant Norman Howard, deceased. Sarah Quinwelge, executor of estate. Property location 500 North Station Street.
So this is an older property that's down on Station Street, owned by Norman Howard for a long time. Which I'm sure some of you guys know. They have requested to replat this property, which would normally be just a minor replat. But because of our density restrictions and the requirement now for lots, all lots, no matter what the zoning, to be 50-foot wide and to maintain that 50-foot width all the way back, this minor plat has a variance. So that automatically kicks it up to planning and zoning and council. You guys have to approve that to allow it to happen. So if this had happened before 2021, wouldn't have been an issue. Because it happened after they changed those density restrictions, it is an issue now. Lots are still over 5,000 square feet, so it meets those requirements. The only requirement it doesn't meet is that it maintains that 50-foot distance all the way back. There's already structures there on the property, so this wouldn't affect anything except really just a line of page. Staff has no heartburn. Obviously, we have to stand up for our ordinances that are in place, but we see no big issues in passing it. So staff recommends approval. All of our utilities also recommend approval. City engineer has reviewed and approved.
And it's basically just the issue of the concrete driveway, right? Is that right? You want to pick up the concrete driveway and give it to lot 11R, which is currently. No. Oh, it was. Oh. Gotcha.
It was already kind of grouped with that house,
Looks like
used in addition to.
Next to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the modification is really just shifting that back line over.
Correct. Yeah, you can see it on, if you look at page 14 of 87, the site plan. It gives you a pretty good.
Yeah. So that's going to create a non-conforming use. Do we need to specify anything in there that the variance is approved, but also that that's non-conforming? So they don't have any issues modifying the back one-story frame building? Is it just from a side setback?
From a side setback standpoint.
Yeah.
So they have that, they typically have that language written on here. I'm not sure if they have it in the final.
Usually it's assumed if, you know, the change was done and it was non-conforming when it was built, but since we're
Yeah.
adjusting the plat, just want to make sure that that's,
Normally Griffith and
Specify.
Jack wrote writes language on here and they didn't at this time, that if that were ever damaged or anything, that they would have to meet current setbacks. I can ask them to write that language in here as well.
yeah, just to protect the people that own that. And then there's also an easement added for the electric, and it looks like the easement was 100 feet back, and I just want to make sure that that doesn't affect the existing building as well.
It should.
Okay. Because it wasn't specified on the plat from
It wasn't, what wasn't specified on the plan?
the easement,
The
Not
final version of the
initially.
plat it
It
is,
was they revised it.
but not with the building there.
Oh,
but AEP saw it with the building there. So whenever utilities
Okay.
review, they see the buildings, they see everything. We don't draw those easements onto site plans.
Okay, it just
But they-
specified 100 feet back, so I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that it's stops before that building.
oh,
Mhm. Just don't,
So I guess.
does it? I guess it does.
I don't know.
We-
I don't have a dimension on there.
This is a new easement?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, page 24.
Go to-
They, well, they,
Go to 25.
new
That's what
easement
I-
with existing utilities in them.
Yeah, and it's just to capture the
And
existing poles,
This
but
happens quite often in replats, specifically with AEP, is that, those weren't there.
It looks like it stops before the building on
Yeah,
page 25. There's a dotted line on the page 14 that goes all the way through the building, but
Stops what gets said.
Mhm.
they can't put an easement underneath an existing building, so I imagine. Well, we can try. I guess.
yeah, that pole is well before that building, that second pole.
Okay.
I would imagine that if AEP had any kind of issue with that building, it would have come up, in their review.
Okay. Yeah, it's specified on there that they just wanted the easement to encompass the poles. I just didn't want to, again, I want to make sure that whatever is there structure wise, there's not an issue with it being over an easement.
AEP would not have requested an easement under a structure.
Okay.
Behind the house, is that it's a 10-foot wide alley, is that right?
Correct.
And is there currently like vehicular access to either of these lots from back there at all, or?
Same. Wouldn't allow you to turn in from the alley into the property, but the RV park next door does use that alley to access the park. That's their access from that side.
Oh, is that right?
Hmm.
Okay.
But there would be nothing stopping somebody from opening up that fence and allowing access into that place.
Yeah,
Yeah, like what you called parking earlier.
Right.
Could have been fence and park there. They want to.
potentially that could very well be parking down the road. Yeah.
Nicole, isn't there some language about an unnecessary hardship for easements in the ordinance?
There
For
is,
variance-
yeah, I
for
mean,
variance, I
yeah.
mean.
for variances, there's a whole list of things that are, that it has to be a hardship, that it has to, if you are gonna grant it, that it doesn't need to create any issues for, the general public moving
Mhm.
forward.
Mhm.
In our case, we think that it can meet all the definitions of that.
And all the general public in the vicinity is okay with it.
Well, it doesn't change anything. Remember, it doesn't
Right.
change anything about what's there on site. So if you guys,
Right, but
know?
it's for sale, right? So if somebody were to look at it, say, hey, y'all buy that, tear everything down and.
Well,
build
if they
a new
tear
one.
everything down, then they have to meet current code of everything. and
Well, sure.
What they would have to do right now anyway.
Right,
So they couldn't tear these old structures down and build something this dense or this, with these setback issues.
right.
But they could add on to it, right?
But you can add on to it now, even in a situation where you're not encroaching on those setbacks. So you
Mhm.
still have to meet all those same rules.
You
now.
just can't make it more non-complying. So the
Correct.
side that's non-complying, you can't add on to that side.
Correct. You could back yourself out, and
Mhm.
add on to that side at that setback line.
Hmm.
We've had some houses that have done some really unique things to meet that portion of the code.
And if it were damaged, they could rebuild.
If it is damaged more than the 50%, they have to meet current code,
Mhm.
just like everybody had to after the hurricane or after the
Okay.
fire, those kind of situations.
Mhm.
Mhm.
50%.
Else have any issues or questions?
Heartburn.
Mm-mm.
I don't either.
So that I would, if you guys decide to make a motion for approval, I would suggest adding the 50% language that Griffith and Bridget normally puts in there that says, if these structures that are non-conforming are more than 50% damaged, current codes have to be met. It's extra to put it on the plat because it's already the case.
Mhm.
But sometimes having it on the plat is helpful.
Specifies.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a
Mhm.
motion to approve, contingent upon if there is damage greater than 50% of the value of the home that they have to meet current code.
Now second.
You have a motion by Richard, a second by Felicia. Phil Straber,
Yes.
Garrett Gipke,
Yes,
Felicia Foster,
Yes.
Richard K,
Yes,
Stephen Wilson,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, item 4.3, discuss and take appropriate action to confirm the beachfront dune protection permit plan 2620 is consistent with the city's coastal management plan. The applicant to establish that no dunes exist on the construction site and that no dune permit is required for construction of improvements. Applicant Bill Lorraine Cantor, property location 5601 State Highway 361, Unit 111.
Okay, so give me just a second to get out there. So this is a situation where we've got a fully developed property that's in the 1,000-foot dune protection line. We've seen a lot of these no dune permits come in on Dolphin Lane. Most recently, this is one that the gentleman and his family have put together their application together on their own. Staff went out, saw the site, saw the areas that he's marking that he's going to put his fence up and maintain. There are no dunes, there are no critical dunes there. So staff recommends approval.
they did a decent job of putting this together.
He did a really good job.
Yeah.
It was a pretty young kid, college kind of level. He came in and asked me a few questions.
Really?
We chatted about some stuff on site, but yes, he did it. He had some examples. We gave him
Yeah,
copies of examples in the same way that I've given other
it
people.
all worked.
That he did. Did he?
Mhm.
Oh, really?
He was very, very nice.
Nice.
It's very, he also started this pretty good in high school.
Wow.
Wow, good for him.
Impressive.
I only had one comment, and again, very well put together. It was just page 43. He specifies the property is approximately 5 feet or less from the line of vegetation, and that's an actual wording that they use for the coastal management, so at the beach, which it's much more than that.
Yes,
So,
we'll make that, we'll give him the right.
yeah,
version there.
I would just take that one part out. Everything else looks good.
Yeah, I think the location, they typically write out the specific distance.
Mhm.
My guess is this might be a typo or he just misunderstood that LOB. So we'll get
Yeah.
him to correct that. I don't know what that exact footage is.
I think he can just say
Yeah.
from the, edge of the property. Because that looks to be what it is.
Anyway, we'll get him to correct that. you guys would grant us the
Yeah.
ability to just fill in the appropriate number.
8 feet from the property line.
And I just had one other question on that. It looks like on his fence location, page 67, that it's lining up with the back of the structure and not of the property. I
So
just
that
wanted to
is,
verify.
That is intentional because there are dunes just outside of
Okay.
that. So it is
okay.
their intention to do that specifically with the edge of the deck and not the property line so that there weren't dunes impacted.
Great.
Okay.
And that was kind of the solution we came up with when we were on. And I
That's
think it's pretty clear in some of those pictures
Yes.
where you can start to see the dune elevation right after.
Yeah.
Did they say what kind of fence they were gonna put up? Just curious.
No.
No, like a,
He said 4 to 6 feet.
Yeah, if you look at page 59, you can kind of see where that elevation really starts to increase right beyond that deck.
mhm.
It's
Mm,
probably not
yeah.
much, and in the future, they might come for a regular dune permit, but that's just not something they wanted to do right now.
Anyone else have any questions? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the no dune permit
With the changes to the vegetation. line.
with the changes to the vegetation line.
We have a second. Perfect.
That was motion by Felicia, seconded by Bill Straber. Richard Kick,
Yes.
Garrett Gifty,
Yes.
Bill Straber,
Yes.
Lee Foster,
Yes,
and Stephen Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item 4.4, discuss and take appropriate action to confirm the beachfront dune protection permit, Plan 26-21 is consistent with the city's coastal management plan. The applicant is to establish that no dunes exist on the construction site and that no dune permit is required for construction of improvements. Applicant, Mustang Island Development 2 Inc., property location tracks 12 and 13, Cinnamon Shores South, Unit 6, Port Aransas, Nueces County, Texas.
And I am going to turn the floor
Alright.
over to Daniel. None of
Mhm.
you remember when Daniel used to come and present here all the time,
Mhm.
but he did. So we'll invite him back.
Good afternoon, members of P and Z. So this application is a follow-up for a application of dune permit from a couple years back. I think it was in 2021. I left each of those blank. I thought I had put that information in there, but there was a permit. Cinnamon Shore South was constructed in a total of about 6 phases. Phases 1 through 5 were all part of one collection of permitting. And then phase 6, the last phase, which was the infill area. It's the big lake on the upper section there. Not the one that's kind of shaped like a Nike check mark, but the other one. There's 2 Terramar tracks that were each like 300 or so feet wide in the middle there. And both of those were constructed under one dune permit in which we proposed to do mitigation. And then portions of that mitigation were completed, but were not completed per the permit with the GLO and with the city. That was observed out on site by the city and the GLO recently. And so we agreed that we would come back and reapply for 2 permits rather than one. One to do the mitigation that didn't get fully completed, so to correct for that error. And then the second, no dune permit, so that all of our current construction activity is compliant. And so the current construction activity within that phase, there's maybe 6 or 7 homes under construction throughout that area. Actually, that's within the whole phase. So within the no dune permit area, I think there's 1 part of 1 lot that exists within the actual boundary of the 1,000-foot line. So that 1 lot, just to make sure that we're all, fully approved, we're getting this no dune permit as well, since it doesn't expire. That'll make all the current construction compliant. So we went out and we photographed the site, presented updated exhibits and information, and we'll be coming back with another application. I've got a surveyor coming out to the site tomorrow to survey and help prepare exhibits for the portions of mitigation that were completed versus weren't, so that we can specify all that in an upcoming permit and put that in front of you and council as well, to correct for that mitigation compensation, which in total was about 1,077 cubic yards, and I think 1,600 square feet of vegetation associated with that. So
I have a question.
Sure.
In regard to the deficiency that was noted for the mitigation compensation, had that not been discovered, would there be a requirement to come back for this no dune permit?
Yes. So anytime you've got any kind of construction activity going on in the dunes, like the one that we just approved just prior to this, they had a dune permit originally when that went in. Outside of that 3 years, they're coming for more
But
construction.
It's because it's outside the 3 years. Is that right?
Correct.
These PUDs, they get dune permits.
Right.
And then they're
And
at
so
a
you got-
level.
You got 3 years to create that. And so
Okay.
typically, and Daniel and I started it back in Cinnamon Shore North long ago, because we discovered that all these individual lots after the dune permit was complete needed to come in, and because they were in that 1,000-foot, they also needed something in place. So Daniel created a blanket no dune permit for all of Cinnamon Shore that
Okay,
included all
that's
of
what I'm
those lots. That was a long time ago. And then with every PUD since then, we've kind of automatically, as soon as that 3-year mark hits, we tell them, get your no dune permit now for everything, because it's all flat. No dune
Right.
permit lasts forever.
That's okay. That's
Yep.
what I was referring to.
and we should have already done that on this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there
So
was a.
that's what this is.
The-
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
coupled with the fact that there was a deficiency noted.
Right.
Mm.
They would have had to come back for this no dune permit, even if there wasn't that deficiency, to conduct that work.
Okay.
They have a no dune permit for the other tracks
Okay.
in Cinnamon Shore South. It's just because the way that this one kind of got developed, we all thought this was part of it and it wasn't.
Okay.
That's why I hadn't applied. I thought I had done this, but I hadn't done this for this little
Yeah.
section of the overall
So
picture.
we
Okay.
had originally been thinking about the development of everything all together, even though that one portion wasn't included in it. So in all of our heads, it was just because we've gone through all the steps for everything. We thought that we had already done all of this.
Okay. All right. Thank
So
you for
that's
that
why the
clarification.
6 lots or the 6 were under construction without
Right.
that.
Right.
Got it.
Yes, we thought we had a no dune permit in place for the entirety of the 11, like I'll call them parent tracks, the original Terramar tracks, but the last 2, like even though they were always part of our planning, their acquisition was staggered and they weren't included in our PUD entitlement. So there was like a second round entitlement and a second dune permit, and we didn't do this follow-up step thinking that we had already resolved it.
Okay.
And just so that you guys are aware, the no dune permit process is only a Port Aransas specific process. The GLO, all the natural resource codes don't
Mhm.
require it. It's because we wrote it into our plan that we have
Okay.
that higher standard. So they were not, with those 6 homes being under construction, they were not in violation with the GLO because of that.
Just with us.
Just with us.
Gotcha.
And we're the ones that have also approved those permits,
Mhm.
thinking that they
Yeah,
already had that no dune permit in place, so it's kind of bad on us too.
yeah.
You said there was some mitigation that was lacking.
Correct. Yeah, I
Where's-
brought a copy
where's
of
that
that
go?
exhibit for reference. So this was from another permit. And there was a period of time kind of post Mayor Bouillon, I guess, where there was some changes, or I guess permits that we were looking for the recorded numbers, and I guess we were struggling to find a little bit of information. We know that they were on city applications, but like I referenced BFDP number and then I didn't plug anything in there in the application.
We can go plug those.
Yeah, we're waiting to plug those in, or we'd like to include that information once we pull them. But so this was the original mitigation plan from when we had done the subdivision construction for these 2 tracks. So it goes 9, 10, 11. Those weren't part of this permit. Those were part of one of the other permits. These are the 2 that were considered under this application. So the green area is the dunes that we had impacted at that time. And the agreement with the contractor was that that material was to go back into these areas. They stockpiled it right here, and they never got it into these locations and shaped it into the proposed dunes that were indicated in the permit. So I'm having a surveyor collect what that dune looks like to determine what its volume is. And then we can specify under this upcoming dune permit application that we're going to collect that material and place it in these areas. Or if we have sufficient material there, we may apply and say that like, hey, we found all the material that was required. It's here. Will you consider that dune in lieu of building these other dunes?
Okay.
Kind of
Yeah.
very similar to what we just did with Palmia,
Mhm.
where they just ran out of time and then kind of changed because of the deficiencies that they had. So it's something very similar to that. Again, these scales that they're working on, it's not like a normal house scale.
Yeah.
Like these are huge, huge scales.
Are there any houses under construction that are going to limit your access to those areas?
No, we've not sold any portions of that Gulf front yet. There are dunes, or there are Gulf front lots already improved there. And did you happen to include the second round of photographs in the
I
application or
did not.
Okay, so there's some additional photographs, and if anyone were to drive by, there's about 55 dump truck loads of sand that are put on the Gulf front lots
I can
in
get
front
to
of
it.
this mitigation area. We've been collecting material to use for this upcoming mitigation project. So anytime we've had sand or done cut work recently, we've been putting it up there near the Gulf front in order to prepare for that permit. So we have really good access to it right now.
Are they allowed to use sargassum weed as a mitigation?
I'd-
I got a pile of it up in my house. It's not very fun. So I'll give it all to.
Right.
Doesn't make good dams. It just makes a lot of sunflower.
Yeah, that dune in some of the photographs you might see, we went out there on site and walked it, and there were like 10-foot tall sunflowers. You thought there was a massive dune
Yeah.
under there. We mowed it.
There's
It's
nothing.
like 18 inches tall.
Oh.
There's like nothing there. It was all sunflowers.
Like, where does the dune? And I was like, it probably isn't there at all.
So I have one question on page 87 where it's showing kind of the exhibit B. Is it only the highlighted from Retreat Street forward?
Could you, sorry, is it this exhibit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't have the same page numbering. So yeah, it's easier to see digitally. For whatever reason, I noticed I printed it too, and the yellow didn't really come out. I can make that higher contrast if needed to where it's easier to see. But it goes from the 1,000-foot dune protection line to the back of the Gulf front lots. That's the extent of the area indicated. And then I made a little note at the bottom that like if the 1,000-foot dune line were to shift towards the highway or something, that we don't want to be required to reapply for this, like because there's no dunes also in that same area, like that could be a staff review item or something if that ever were to happen. But yeah, so it's just between the 1,000-foot line and the back of the Gulf front lots.
So you're actually capturing a portion of those lots that are on the lake too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And that's one of the only sites that's under
Mhm.
construction within the phase. I believe it's lot 309. No, 305. Retreat Street is under construction.
So these are the additional photos.
Yes. Yeah.
And they just came too late to be included in your packet, guys.
Yeah, I had the guy mow last Thursday, so I took the photos on Friday.
It
And
was pretty, made me laugh.
so there's visible some of those stockpiles in that upper photo there. Some of that looks like dirt, and then behind it is a bunch of piles of sand. They had grass sprout up on them after all the rain.
So this is the last section. Everything else you've gone through your no dune permit.
Correct.
So this is the last section?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible to get the legal description on there, or at least the lot and blocks, or?
I could do that. I started to do that and kind of ran
Yeah.
short on time. So
we
I
needed
went
to-
ahead and
We needed to get it in pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because by our code, we should not be allowing construction even in the no dune
Sure.
permit areas, and we're already there.
Yeah.
So we and Daniel obliged,
Mhm.
rushed this permit. so that we could get it through. GLO has also committed to going through that review very quickly so that we can get it on the council agenda
Mhm.
in July.
And I would say it could just be added on this exhibit, these lots.
Okay.
That way, if they don't have a digital copy,
Right, yeah,
it's
I can
easier
make this
to-
clearer on print, like the yellow highlighting that's covered for this, I can make it a higher contrast or go with gray or something,
And
so that the hatching's evident, and then I can add in the permit
I
application.
think that's what we did
A
on
legal.
the previous ones, and it's
description.
been very helpful. It was
Yeah.
helpful in those old Cinnamon Shore ones where we could just look up the lot and block number on that list.
Mhm.
Excellent, okay, I
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that something like that's included.
can name those.
That's all I had.
And they're a little hard to see, but we have it staked to the back of the lots. There's some laths with flagging present in the photos and on site if
I don't
anyone
think you'll be able to
needed to see
see
it.
much of
There's
it. Yeah.
there's one you can kind of see.
there. You can see maybe one in the distance. But they always do a really good job of marking all of that in the field. There's a few.
Looks very good, and you're actually entitled to the no dune permit, correct? It's just an administrative
Yeah.
kind of an issue.
Mhm.
Yeah. Staff finds that there's no dunes on site, so we recommend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think maybe any motion should just be to add in those prior Dune permit numbers and to include a list of all lot and block numbers covered by the permit.
Somebody?
Give me the man.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to say it properly. I make a motion to approve that the beachfront dune protection permit plan 26-21 is consistent with the city's coastal management plan. And as a caveat to include,
Just fill in the previous Dune permit numbers and include a list of all lot and block.
to fill in the previous dune permit numbers and to include a list of the lot and block numbers.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a motion by Garrett. And seconded by Steven, thank you. All right, Bill Straber,
Yes.
Felicia Foster,
Yes.
Richard Kay,
Yes.
Garrett Kipke,
Yes.
Steven,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right. Planning and zoning commission comments and items for future consideration. Do we have any?
Everybody drive through Station Street in a little while.
Oh, yeah. All right. During this planning and zoning commission meeting at 4:35.
Yes.
Thank you.